Well, next, let's queer up trans rights. Billionaire Elon Musk says, quote, woke ideology killed his child. In a recent interview with Jordan Peterson, Elon Musk made controversial and transphobic remarks about his transgender daughter, Vivian Jenna Wilson. Musk claimed that Vivian, who legally changed her name and gender in 2022, was killed by what he referred to as the woke mind virus, as he expressed a desire to, quote, destroy this ideology. Check.
It wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. Anyway, and so I lost my son essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead. Killed by the woke mind virus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be.
Musk added, quote, this was really before I had any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, so there was a lot of confusion, and I was told Vivian might commit suicide, end quote. Vivian, daughter of Canadian author Justine Wilson and Musk, reportedly distanced herself from her father due to his hostile views on transgender issues. Musk's comment have sparked backlash many times in the past, with critics condemning his transphobia and misinformation. On social media platform X, Musk continued to use Vivian's dead name, claiming she was, quote, gay and slightly autistic, end quote, which has been widely criticized by users. But sadly, Musk does not know where to stop. Look, I would like to spend as little time as possible in giving Musk any kind of attention or notoriety for his opinions. In this story, what really comes across to me is that his daughter Vivian is an absolute hero. Mm-hmm. Complex trauma and chronic shame is something that really all LGBTQ plus people have to deal with at some point. Even if you were in a really accepting family and your parents were in PFLAG, you were still surrounded by a community who's been telling you that you were less than before you even knew how to filter those thoughts out as not being good for you. Mm. And this kind of complex trauma and chronic shame lives on in every one of us, and it finds a way to be expressed. So I think she's really a hero for creating the distance that she has while being vocal about it. But let's really use what she's bringing to light to also take a look at ourselves as people in the audience. How have we accepted that shame? How do we deal with that trauma? Where does that show up in our personalities? Because it's either something that holds you back or that can propel you forward. But you have to be aware that it's there.
Yeah, that's so true. And thank you for bringing that up. Yep. Like Vivian is a freaking hero. Mm-hmm. You're right. I mean, not only is she, fighting the world like many of us do in LGBTQ plus, but she's fighting her father, right? And her father is not just, Señor Don Luis Carmona, like my dad. It's freaking Elon Musk, the owner of X, the owner of those ugly ass Teslas, I mean, that's his father. He's fighting, right. She's fighting that, I've heard from parents that, let's just say, can't understand their shortcomings or don't know how to deal with their feelings. I've heard from them, oh, my child is dead, right? When they hear that a child has come out as LGBTQ plus, right? Then where are the tears, Elon? If your daughter was killed, any other parent would be there crying, saying woke ideology stole my child, right? You don't seem to be even bothered by it at all. Your daughter hates you. Mm-hmm. And all you have to do is be less of an asshole, and then she would want you as her dad. Those relationships are unbreakable. Unfortunately, we only have one mother and one dad. So you try to fix those relationships as much you can, even if the person is just completely disgusting like you are, Elon.
I have to look at it because being a parent of a gay child, and I look at the end of the day, it's your child.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, female, male, as far as it's a child. And in the interviews I have read that that Vivian has had, talking about the toxic environment that both her and her mother had endured. Mm-hmm. So I look at that and go, there's more to the story, but at the end of the day, it's your child, and you're mourning the death of what you're calling your son, but your child is still in front of you.
Yeah.
So either embrace, you've
Wow.
got to embrace that.
And how many children, we're told by the Trevor Project every single year about how many kids try to take their own lives,
Yep.
right? Because they're not understood in their transition or in their coming out process,
Right.
right? Your daughter's here. Like Vaughn said, maybe she thought about hurting herself, but guess what? 9 out of 10 of us have, because it comes with being LGBTQ plus.
Yep.
Welcome, right? That's kind of it's part of the process, unfortunately. It's just it's horrific what she has her and her mom had to go to probably.
And what eats me alive is the fact that like Musk, he's the one that like promotes creativity and innovation and things that want to better people's lives day to day, but then he's having just a transgendered daughter. It sucks and it hurts a lot to realize that he said he lost a son, but yeah, he gained a daughter. So it's kind of like debilitating a little bit, just because it's someone that like stands for moving like the world. But
well, Elon is the one that wanted to do all the space stuff also, right? So I mean, he's all about evolution, but not human evolution. Like,
Well,
that's
but
crazy,
look at all this technology that he is involved in, and as a very intelligent person, and his comment is, "I didn't understand."
Yeah.
I struggle with that.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to-
You pay people to understand for you.
Right.
I think all parents out there, do not mourn any kind of previous version, because that version was not that person's true identity, or them being themselves, or really celebrating themselves. So celebrate the revelation of the real person. Nothing is dead.
Yes, and it means that you did nothing wrong as a parent.
Yeah.
You did nothing wrong. It has nothing to do with your shortcomings or anything. That beautiful individual of light just needed to shine a different way. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Keep shining.
Keep shining, baby.
Yep.